Yes, yes, you are.
Every sunset is an opportunity to reset. Every sunrise begins with new eyes. Richie Norton.
Good morning, respected guests, faculty, and students. We welcome all to the event My Story, a motivational session by successful entrepreneur, conducted by Panimalar Institute of Technology.
All human out there needs something more than his or her basic needs, something that pushes him or her to success. I believe that motivating or motivation is a tool to trigger a person to reach success. A little motivation with inspiration and innovation can succeed in any operation.
As we are at the end of 2022, to motivate us for the upcoming year, we have Mrs. Sonia Prakash as our guest speaker. To tell about her, ma'am is the managing director of Drizzle by the Beach Restaurant, president of Rotary Club of the Chennai Spotlight.
I would like to mention some awards were awarded to Ma'am. Ma'am was listed among the top 10 influential women entrepreneurs in 2014 in Times of India. Featured on the cover page of Valaram Thoril magazine alongside Mr. Vasant of Vasant & Co. in 2016. Featured as the influential woman in Business in Health and Fashion magazine in 2017. Featured as the influential woman in Business in Health and Fashion magazine 2017. Featured in the launch edition of Vasco magazine 2021 Top Entrepreneurs in the City. Mayan Awards for Best Young Entrepreneur in 2018. Luxury Affairs Award for Best Restaurant in 2018. Received the award as the Inspiration Entrepreneur Mayan Vista Award 2021. Received Best Woman Entrepreneur for Women League Association 2021. Golden Crown Award as Queen of Entrepreneurship and Role Model 2021. Received People Choice Award by GR Events, Woman of Excellent Award and Citation by VMRF, Star Woman Award by Indian Turns Pink 2021, received Best Family Restaurant Award for Food Corsair Indian Awards 2022. In recognition and contribution towards the cancer awareness campaign, she has received Influencer Award for Pink on the Move. Project Director for Valimai Tamarachi with the Honorable Member of Parliament, Dr. Tamarachi Tangapandian, has patterned.
Ma'am has always been a social activist. She was invited by many organizations as special speaker, participated in many fashion shows, involved in many philanthropic projects, featured in many magazines, newspapers, TV channels like NDTV, Apple TV, Food and Health, Cinema Glitz, Galata, Deccan, Chronicle, Culturama, Vasco. Involved deeply in many activities and social causes such as welfare programs, increasing green cover, and ecological awareness. Overall, Ma'am is a successful entrepreneur and busy mom who's passionate about life and loves to enjoy all that is set as a purpose to pursue. Relentlessly enthusiastic in joining hands for social cause and awareness.
We are extremely honored to have you, ma'am. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. As we say vanakkam in Tamil, I would like to start with a good vanakkam to everybody and very warm good morning to all the students and faculty who have signed in today. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Professor Amos David. And I hope I'm audible and clear as well.
Yes, yes, madam.
Okay. So when I had a call from Professor Amos, I would address him as Amos, and I want to be more formal, calling him Professor Amos. So when he called me and asked me if I would be interested in giving a talk, I said yes immediately. One reason is, of course, I would always love to connect with students. And the other reason is the journey that Amos has also traveled is definitely an inspiring one too. So definitely I am privileged always to be connected with the request that Amos has given me. So thank you again very much. So moving on to what is a motivational talk. When the title was given as motivational, I was first thinking what motivation is. Motivation basically is like a witness of your story that you tell the other so they could pick themselves and run the journey. So motivation is basically picking the other up. It is nothing to do with us. It is to do with others that we want to touch. So here I am today. Whether you are having a choice or no choice, you're going to be stuck with me for the next few minutes, if not an hour. Of course, I'll keep it as short as possible and as interesting it could be my story. I've had an exciting path to life, so I would like to start with this quote. Write your story as it needs to be written. Write it honestly and tell it as best as you can. I'm not sure that there are any other rules, not ones that matter. It is a quote by Neil Gaiman. So this particular quote was a really touching one because we all want to find our path to write a story about our life. But in the process, how honest are we to the stories that we write for our lives? How much of the story is written by other people and how much is written by ourselves for us? Of course, God being there for us as a master of all, but we do have our own uh, freedom to write our story. So I'm coming from the Gen X, and now I'm addressing the Gen Z of the generations. So it is definitely a very vast difference because we were in the cusp of technology, and we have seen both the old school, as you would call it now, with the pen and paper, and we have seen using your stilos and using your tabs, using all the technologies that we could. So, but still, we had a chance to evolve. So, we are a more evolved generation. But the Gen Z is always more impressive for us. That is what we always discuss when we meet other successful entrepreneurs, or when we talk to our professors or the professors who are working now. The challenge and the focus that the kids are having of this generation is definitely more inspiring to us, and it definitely motivates us. You know why? Because the technology, the distraction, and the temptations are much more for you guys. And in spite of that, if you have set out to achieve your goal, and if you have set out to be there and to make your purpose in life, then that is definitely a very, very challenging task in today's world. So definitely, the Gen Z is an inspiration back to us. And coming from the Gen X, we had nothing told to us particularly to do in life. There was no identity for us. There was no path set for us. So we had to explore, and information was not as much available as it is today for all the students or for the working community. We had to really go after information. Now information is at your fingertip. So we didn't have the privilege, but definitely we took all efforts into understanding of what information we require. So we would travel from library to library, like how you would surf from one Google link to another, or an Instagram, or YouTube, and of course the outdated Facebook for the Gen Z. We were, of course, there in all of it, trying to, we still connect to books, and we still go back and forth into understanding information differently as compared to what you would be doing. So we were definitely a much more hardworking compared to you guys, but of course you are more smart working, and you are juggling more things than us. So my journey as an entrepreneur basically did not come on a platter to me. I wasn't what I am today. I was the timid, shy person. I was not too confident of myself, and but I had my share a portion of fun to life, and share. I had to share a lot of um, good things with the family, especially. So family has been my strength always, be it my marital family or my paternal family. They have always been my strength. my journey as such in my personal life, yes, I did my graduation in plant science, microbiology, and biotechnology, and I married very early. So it wasn't an accident though. I did take a gap year. So the gap year was a year that actually decided my future. And from then on, I used to regret that I married early, and I had children even before I would want to, really set my foot on anything. So I was a busy mom, doting mom, a good wife, and I helped my dad and my husband in their businesses, and we would just go about life. And then I was not too satisfied with what I was doing, and which I was actually not doing anything. I was just being a mom, basically. But so that wasn't just enough. Of course, I was living that phase of my life to the fullest. And when it came to the career path, I had to take a decision. That didn't happen overnight either. So it is my husband who is an hotelier, and he had his passions somewhere else. So I stepped in to relieve him, to follow his passion, and I took his profession as my passion. So I'm basically a deviated professional, but I had an acquired profession for myself. So what I would tell is, whatever comes your way, take it with passion. So that is the learning that I had through this particular path that I had to take. And as I always say, do everything like you would do it to God. Imagine you're doing, just even the smallest thing, even if you're cooking, even if you're going to write a thing, if you're going to talk, think you are doing it to God, then you'll give your best at it. So, because we look at that as the benchmark, and that is definitely the way to be giving 100%, if not 200. At least we would give our 100% if we are going to do it to God. And the grounding factor, of course, is my husband and my children. And I can only thank them, and I could only praise them for all the support that I have received from them. From there on, my journey started, and it was a learning for me. And while I was trying to find my path, I was helping my husband to transition between going towards his passion for him and for me to take over the business. I was also doing a lot of things to explore in the meanwhile. Like I was an advanced English student, and so I took advantage of that, and I would teach English for professionals in Oman, like the doctors and engineers. And then I tried my hand at marketing for a hotel. Then I tried my hand into smaller things that we could do from small time businesses and everything. And then that wasn't too satisfying for me. I wanted more and more and more. And I wasn't greedy though, but I wanted more to life that gave me an identity. It was not about money. It was more about creating that identity that would be known for me and made by me, not something that I would have inherited. In that path, of course, I would set out each day finding a purpose in life. And that is when we moved down to India. And India was a definite choice that I had made consciously because of the love of India. I do not know how many people really understand when I say the love of India when we live outside the country. Most people do not understand, why would somebody come back to India. But trust me, to live in your own country, to be a king in your own country, there is nothing better than that. So, and of course, being proud as Indian always, for all the heritage and strength that we have. But due respect to everybody who lives outside India for their professional reasons and for their comfort, that is their choice. But this was my choice to be here in India. So the journey here started here. It wasn't too easy, especially as a woman in business. I many times was not taken seriously, and it was more fancy outlook for everybody. So it looked like I was, every day waking up to go have fun. Yes, of course, I have fun at work, but it is work. But definitely not as easy as it would seem from outside. The path that I had taken has definitely been a challenging one. I wouldn't say there haven't been problems, but every problem was a challenge to face, and we had to work on a lot of things, especially with my skills of multitasking. As women, I would say, especially as women, multitasking is one aspect that everybody should work on. I wish colleges came up with some subject that would help kids to multitask. If like how we would have a moral science class, or we would have ethics class. I think multitasking these days is required, because we need to prioritize, procrastinate. So that happens when we understand how to multitask, because you cannot have a cluttered head and try to work calm. You should be able to prioritize, and you should be able to be confident to finish work at a particular time, and to be able to do two or if not four or five things, at least two or three things together at the same time. Only then you could catch up in a world that is so fast, but definitely not a confused world. So apart from multitasking, yes, I did have to find my direction to it. So what more than just a business? So I had to find a purpose in life. I was always socially active person. I was always socially connected to, and from my heart, to a lot of causes. And then I took the journey into having my connections with schools and colleges here in India when we moved down here, and we would meet a lot of groups and give motivational talks. We would keep them all pepped up with the street plays, and we tried it all. We did the lake cleanup, we did it all. But then we wanted to be also in some organized way of functioning. That is when I signed up into Rotary as well. So the path that I have taken in Rotary has been really very impressive for me as a learning experience. And from there, I would also, from my experience, tell all students that the key to success also lies in networking. So go fiercely after networking, and do not hesitate to be confident in your networking skills. This is one skill that would help you get connected to more people. Networking basically is trying to understand other professions and to respect them, and to be able to connect their professions to yourself and to other people that you would know, and to be able to keep in touch with all people from various fields and aspects of life, and of course with due respect to each of them. And networking has really helped me so far in my journey, and we have an extensive way of networking being in an industry like this. So I capitalize on every occasion that we could network in, be it at the restaurant, be it at Rotary, be it at any social event. So that is something that I enjoy doing as well. So the first thing towards networking would be to be confident of yourself. What is confidence basically? Confidence is liking yourself. If you like yourself, you're going to be confident. You should never be driven by what others would want you to be, or what others talk about you. So basically, confidence also comes along with a little bit of good arrogance. I would call it good arrogance is because you identify your strength, and you are sure about what you are strong at. So this is called as good arrogance. And everybody should take pride in a little bit of good arrogance that we could have, as long as it doesn't hurt another. So definitely, I'm a fan of good arrogance, and confidence definitely comes from good arrogance. While you are also assessing yourself with for your good arrogance, also be aware and be honest about your weaknesses. So weaknesses are something that are basically not what we do not have, basically something that we fear for ourselves. So how do we break the fear? So again, it is just a motivation that we have to talk to ourselves and be better at. We can never mask anything over the other. There could be no feature, there could be no thought that could mask what is not and what is. So always be very clear in your path of confidence, because it's a very thin line between confidence and overconfidence. So this is something that I have learned through the years and through the time. Of course, experience does count. There is no hard and fast rule in this world, and definitely the world is a changed world now with open thoughts and with the welcoming hands of different culture and different kinds of people. And of course, we are in a world that has all the opportunities galore, and we just have to pick our opportunity. Like I always tell every student that I meet, especially students, every chance is an opportunity. So grab every chance that you get at life. It's going to be only once. You can throw random stones at a pond, but you should know when to stop, when the ripples are the right ones for you, and pick the vibration that is required for you to move forward in life, and pick the career that you want to shine at, and give it your best. Don't settle for something small. That's what I would always tell all the kids at college, especially not schools, at college, because this is your age where you are trying to find your path. And I know what I did in my gap year, trying to understand. But coming from a Gen X, I was more waiting for guidance from parents, guidance from people around. But that is not the way to go about. You can take their guidances, but your strength should come from only within and within you alone. So identify each and everything that you are good at and what you want to be after a few years. I always tell people, decide what you want to be when you're 60, because you will do it right when you're in your 20s, 30, and 40, because 60 is the age when you would sit and say, you have accomplished certain things. But what have you done with your 20s and 30s matters. So plan what you want to do when you're 60. I know it's too early, but that should be the kind of goals that you would have to set. And money is not the goal. Never have money as a goal. Money definitely, or financials are needed. Money is definitely required, but that should never be a goal. Building yourself, building a name, building an identity, building a title for yourself, that should be the major goal in life. Money would come, money would go, but the character, the personality that you build for yourself is going to live on forever. So this foundation that you lay for yourself is going to be the foundation that would later on probably help you financially too. Yes, you do require to focus on your ways of life, and you have to focus on how you're going to plan ahead of whatever you would have to face in life. But definitely focus more on to building your personality. And I definitely took my time while I was transitioning between being an entrepreneur and a housewife, a mother, to to an entrepreneur. Yes, I did, self groom myself. So self grooming is one part that everybody should be interested in, if not forced to. Then I mean, people, you could have sessions where in your if you're joining work in your MNCs, in your hospitality industry, you would have your own grooming sessions. But self grooming and appearance is very, very important as a part of building confidence. And there is no harm in wanting to be looking good. And there is definitely a good there are many good courses now, so you could take up all those courses towards personality building, which helps you in your gestures, which helps you in your manner of speaking, which helps you in the way you would conduct yourself in a public forum. There is always a need for maintaining the decorum. So that is definitely the definite requirement. I'm sure colleges might be having these courses in the due, I think, due time, because I have heard a lot of uh, professors and faculty talk about this. So definitely do think about these things, which have helped me, of course, as an entrepreneur into the success story that I want to share with you all. I have done my mistakes, yes, my fair share of mistakes have been there in life, but no regrets to it. Yes, I wish I had done it differently, made decisions differently, but it's never too late or never too soon for anything. And mistakes are a part of life, and we do learn from our mistakes. And as an entrepreneur, yes, as a woman entrepreneur, it is definitely a very tough thing to deal with mistakes, especially because you would be judged and put down. But nobody is your competition. You alone are your own competition. So there is no hard and fast rule as to mistakes in business and mistakes in life, unless you have harmed anybody. And the purpose of understanding your mistakes is so that you would be more aware of how to make decisions. So never make decisions in your anger or sadness is something that all of us do know. But yes, at some situations we would have to make individual decisions in a business at the instance. So these have been the challenging moments as well. There are challenging moments in business where we have to go by certain decisions. And I would say when you make a decision of that kind, always go with your gut feeling and try to stick on to your decisions. Don't make decisions that you would go back on and be wobbly about your decision. When you decide, go after it. Be a go getter. When you decide, there should be no stopping. You should be the leader of the decision and go and be a winner. And don't stop with other people's advice and with other people's fears. And in a business, yeah, as an entrepreneur, never try to compete with the other. You try to create your own niche. When everybody comes and asks me, how do you handle competitors? The only answer I tell them is, I'm not here to compete at all. I'm here because of my own passion to be here, and I can carve my own niche. So remember that the world is not small. It is not shrunken, and it doesn't definitely have. I mean, it is not lighter ground for us to be sinking in. So everybody can find their ground and purpose, and everybody has a place in this world. So never try to push the other, never try to pull the other to growth. That is not going to be lasting. Always, it is important that we go after our passion to carve a niche than to compete about others. So never look at, they always say when you're doing something creative, never look at what the others are doing. If you want to create it from what you are and what you think and what your thoughts are. Never take others' thoughts. It doesn't become creative. It only becomes jealousy, and it only becomes a weakness after that. So always ensure that you are creative and you are not competing. Be your own master, and be the one to set the trend. That those are the things that have kept me, I would say, encouraged to go forward. And of course, in a woman's world, I'm not alone. There are many men definitely who are supportive to a woman, and there are many women who are supportive to a woman. So definitely that you have to identify the correct crowd that you would have, who would be honest to you as a person who is going to explore into your profession, or if you're going to achieve something, have a good team, have a good outlook of the friends and the associations that you would have along with you. And never never try to create identity for other people. Always work on only your identity. It is for every individual to create, because these are mistakes that I have done in my life. So I could tell that out from my mistakes and learning, of course, that has happened afterwards. So if you are taking a gap year, I would advise a gap year, yes. But in this fast world, gap year is not as required as it was before, because we have more opportunities to understand. So if you're students of a certain stream of subject, do take your time into understanding what you want to pursue, and set your goals, of course, and be be in the right direction as you would want it to be. And as we moved on to the next juncture of our life, we had to make more decisions about how we would start to deal with family and the growth of the children. So that was definitely a task for me. If you want to understand my journey as an entrepreneur, yes, my journey as an entrepreneur is definitely a success story, because my family was my major focus. So, as a woman, of course, whatever we do, our major, the subconscious works on what the children are doing, what the, family is waiting for. So, this is something. So, always respect your family and ensure that things are fine there. So, you are more focused on your work. The reason we started this particular restaurant was basically to build the bridge between the higher range of dining, the five-star hotels, to a middle range hotel. So we thought of building the bridge between the two, and that is how we came up with the concept of the restaurant that is also pocket friendly but offers services and food, fun, and entertainment under one roof. So the concept was built on making something that was a pocket friendly one. And we went through our own trials of financial challenges. We had our own trials of investments, issues, and everything. So we are a first generation business people. So we did face our challenges. But of course, there are lots of opportunity now, and there are lots of ways for funding. If you're going to have a startup, if you're going to go in for a small industry, there is lots. If you require any help in that, I could help you with connecting you to people who can help you into startups. Because these are guidances that we did not have. I think the world has changed a lot when it comes to financials and market share, especially in the last 10 years. Lots has changed in India towards supporting small businesses. So if any of you students who are graduating and you have a startup idea, do approach us. We would be able to help you in that as well. So if you're going to ask me if I want to live my life again, yes, why not live my life again? But to be honest, yes, I would like to do certain things a little differently. Not change my family, not change my friends, but my own way of doing things. Yes, I would like to do it differently, because from the experiences where we learn, and from my experience, yes, I would do things differently. But to you as students, I would say live life without a regret. Live it to the fullest. Because this age is never going to come back to you. This vibrant, energetic age of your teens and your 20s is never going to come back to you. So live each day to the fullest. When you sit back each day, think if you lived it all, and if you want to live it again the next day, if it is that much fun, if it was that much productive. So that is what I would say. I have no regrets in life, even good or bad. Even in the worst or the happiest of times, I have no regrets in life. So I have learned to live life without a regret. So I would recommend everybody to live life without a regret and with absolute passion and with a thankful heart. And the universe will come together to bless you, of course, God too. So thank you very much for the beautiful opportunity. And if you do want any assistance at any time, please do approach. We are available here. My team is there, and of course, I'm always in touch with students. So do approach. And thank you very much for the beautiful opportunity. Have a blessed afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, madam. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being very motivated. You gave us a fresh start for the end of the year and also for the upcoming new year. Your story of being a woman to a successful entrepreneur was really inspiring. The way you quoted, whatever comes your way, take it with passion, was something which we are going to carry out with us for the future. And you gave us a thought like, why not this, why not that, and why not everything. Being a young woman, I felt your story was really, really uplifting and heartening. I would like to hand over the meeting to Andrea for sharing few words. Andrea, over to you.
This was a really a motivating session where I was really motivated. Being an early mom and wife and coming up till here as an entrepreneur is something like really great, because the people who have graduated and took time to settle are also losing their identity nowadays. And one thing that should everybody should follow in this era is like coming back to their hometowns, because most of them like dream to have a job in abroad or something, and they just fail to think about the place they started. And that one thing I would just take it back to home is like, money is not the goal, identity that matters. That's the one thing that anything like working in an IT or MNC or an entrepreneur, that is the main thing everybody should follow. And with this, the forum is open for a Q&A, so you can raise question to the guest speaker.
Uh, how did you manage the pandemic, madam?
The pandemic was, I would call the fall of pride. We thought that, we were unstoppable, but pandemic has been a real learning for all of us, irrespective of what field or what level of financial strata you come from. Pandemic has definitely been a tough time. But for us, yes, it was a beautiful time, I would say, because most of us, were running around only with more focus towards professional growth. And it gave us time to spend as family. And business wise, yes, we did have our tough times to manage. We had to take certain decisions to downsize. We had to have some of our staff working overtime, and over a few months we had to support them for just with the business shut, we had to provide them food, accommodation, and of course their medical care and all that. It was all a humbling experience. So in that, I would say that it was challenging, but definitely learning. It was a tough time. We had to manage it. There was no other go. But as an open restaurant, we were, be able to run the place at least better than other closed places. So the learning is sit outdoors and make more outdoor space. But of course, Chennai weather doesn't allow that much as well.
So I have a question. Like today, you are here to motivate us and inspire us. So who motivated you or inspired you in your initial days?
Oh, yes. Thank you for asking me that question, actually. Yes, my motivation has, I would say, my mentor has been Dr. Giri Rangasamy. She was my professor in my college. She was my biotechnology professor, and she has been my mentor. So she's the one who first put me on stage and said in my class that, your English is good, you should talk. But I was so scared and timid that I was not confident. But I just went and I spoke. And then from then on, she started encouraging me. And she's my best friend now. She's 80 years old. She was my professor in college. So she's been my mentor. As for my motivation, I would say everybody that I meet motivates me. The other day I was at the fish market. I saw an old woman picking up, those pieces of stones and putting it and then on the ground and then putting the basket on it with a hope that she's going to sell those fish for that particular day and go home with what she needs to provide for her family. So that is a motivation. If you see a cart vendor with vegetables, that is a motivation. He's walking from street to street hoping for something good in life. So it doesn't always have to be all those big success stories. It could be just your children who are getting up that particular morning when they are so tired and not willing to go to school, but then they are just pushed to go to school. That is the motivation. We have to just have a purpose in life. So you would just wake up and go. So everything can be a motivation for us. Just a person who's selling tea on the streets, or even a person who's going to come and clean the drainage is a motivation for us. Motivations don't have to come from only those top car companies, or those top sportsmen. No, not at all. Motivation can be from anybody, because anybody who lives with a hope is a motivation to the other.
Thank you, ma'am.
One of the other day, the cloud has to cool. I have a question like, there might be a situation where you thought you would have give up.
What is it?
Like, you might have a situation where you thought I can give up this, I don't want this anymore. What made you to come up again?
In the restaurant industry, I would actually, I don't know if people would agree with it or not. I would bluntly deny that. I never had this thought of giving up at all. So it is this undying zeal and undying passion that is actually motivated to me, me to be here. So, but in other situations, yes, apart from the business, yes, there are many situations when I have wanted to give up. But in those situations, the only thing I do is I sit and I pray. So I sit alone and I pray, and I leave it into the hands of God, and I tell, if this is meant to be, let it be so. So there is no running away from anything. Running away is not the way to deal with life. Stand there and face it all. So there's nothing that could, what is the worst that could happen to anybody? The, the worst that is for a human life is death. So that is the end of life. So we are all living, we are all running. So there's no need to run back on anything. Just keep moving forward.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any question? The forum is
Uh,
open for everyone.
Can I join?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Go ahead.
Uh, Congratulations. And I I got your good word, that good arrogance. Yes, every successful people are having that. People can say that why you, because you are, that is a very good word. I, I thank you very much for that. See here, only one question I have with you. Most of the women entrepreneurs, the balancing act. Because you always told that there is always subconscious worrying about our family, husband, children, their education, their background, because always it will be there. As a woman entrepreneur, what advice you are giving, the balancing act, what you have done for balancing your business and family?
Okay, I think the last part was not clear, but I do understand the question. Thank you, Uncle, for connecting today, Dr. Prabhakaran. I definitely would tell all moms to prioritize their homes first. Keep your home happy, so you'll walk back into a happy home. You don't want to come back to a house that has grumpy people when you're coming end of the day. And ensure that you give good food to your children and to your husband. So that is the first step. And the next thing is ensure that the children are well monitored. And it's not just about stalking them. Never stalk your children. It is about how much time you have towards talking to understand them. And apart from that, keep your home happy and healthy when you're there. Don't be that sedentary person. When you're home, they should feel your presence, so they will value your absence, so they will wait for you to come back. So when you're at home, don't just be boring and lying down and doing nothing. So keep your house a very happy place. As much as you want to achieve in your work and your goal, keep your home a happy place. That's the first step to success, I would say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Andrea, can we wind it up? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Puja, go.
Just an added note to know what a great gift it is to be prepared as you are. Because not all colleges offer us an advantage. Here we had a high degree of academic, and whether you intend to continue your education or not, you will be benefit from what you have learned here. Let us make sure that we make an inspiring contribution to others by being focused to our values and committing ourselves to our lofty goals and our passion. At this moment, we'd like to give you an e-memento. So, as a token of love from our college, we are happy to give you this e-memento.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Keep us motivating.
A negative mind will never give you a positive life. Start your year with a positive attitude, and that will take you to good heights. So after all the motivation, all the art, finally, thank you all for your presence and participation session. Thank you to our guest speaker for your participation. Until next time, this is Andrea
And Pooja,
saying goodbye.
goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.